Guys, new research dropped out of Cambridge, and this one says that your brain does not fully develop by the age of 25, which is what we have been hearing all this while. Just try to understand what really is happening. Now, this new Cambridge research basically says that our most dramatic developmental phase actually extends until the age of 32 instead of 25. That age is your brain's true turning point. Let's try to understand how exactly. So, researchers analyzed upwards of 4,000 brain wiring scans called diffusion MRIs. They found four non-linear turning points. Right. Phase one was birth to age 9. Phase 2 was the age from ages 9 to 32. Phase 3 was 32 to 66. Phase 4 was 66 to 83, right? And I want to focus on the two biggest psychological shifts that this sort of research talks about. First of all is the phase 2. Now, phase 2 can be understood like a rewiring marathon, right? You enter a marathon, you're running for long distance, right? And between the ages of 9 to 32, your brain spends these 2 decades building the fastest, most efficient global network possible. It is a golden time for learning, flexible thinking, and absorption of information and experiences. But also it comes with a human cost. Like everything has a pro and a con, right? This constant dynamic reorganization creates deep structural fragility. What does this mean? This means that your brain is very malleable and susceptible to mental health disorders as well, which can be anxiety, depression, or any other mental health challenge in general. If you felt chaotic after 25, also in your late 20s, now you know the reason why. The second psychological shift that happens is when you hit the age of 32. Now, science calls this the strongest structural turning point of your entire lifespan. It's when your brain tells your body and tells itself that, I have explored a lot of things. Now I want some stability. The network shifts from maximizing efficiency to maximizing stability and specialization as well. And what does this mean for us? After the age of 32, our intelligence and personality traits tend to plateau. They tend to stabilize over time. But the biggest implication is about habits, because your brain is now wired for stability. Now, this is the time when patterns, whether they have been good or whether they have been bad, solidify and become very hard to change. If you want to change a core behavior, the intense, flexible energy of phase 2 is over. Your brain is no more neuroplastic as it was in the early 20s or in the late 20s as well. Now, after the age of 32, change requires deliberate effort to challenge that new structural stability. And to sort of understand this clearly, think of phase 2 as like building a complicated new city full of construction risks, a lot of planning, a lot of execution, a lot of, hit and trials, a lot of pollution also as well. And think of the third phase, which is after 32, as opening your city for business, for people to come and explore and settle down. So that is how you can understand the two differences. Now, it does not mean that after 32, your brain and body are not developing, right? They're obviously developing, and development sort of takes a new purpose altogether after the age of 32. Now, before 32, it was all about exploration, building fastest networks out there, doing a lot of things, exploring, hit and try, right? But after the age of 32, it becomes more so about stability than about expanding the network. So share this with someone who would like to hear about this new research.